How do you feel when you look at your 11? We can hear the noises Rory's making, but I actually think your front four is pretty good.
I think the front four is okay. I think actually the creativity is going to come from Basuma in midfield, and everything good that happens at Tottenham and will happen this season because of Yves Basuma. Yeah, honestly,
Is he that important?
Yeah, he will finish this season as one of the top 3 number 6s in the country.
Okay, that's
and by proxy.
So Rodri's in there, so he's above him already. So there's one other one other player that
One
you have
other
to.
people.
Yeah,
One other people.
Basuma second.
Is there any other people?
Another one.
No.
Casemiro.
If you like, it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is he's underrated. He spent an entire year in the shadows, a shadow shaped by Antonio Conte. Conte's looked at him at Basuma and gone, nah.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me, that, weirdly, because he shone. We played Brighton between Christmas and New Year, and he was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
He really was. Like, he totally dictated the tempo that day. It finished 1-1. Welbeck scored late for them. But they deserved to win the game. They played us off the pitch, and Basuma was the reason why.
Yeah, it's the same.
And then he got the big move. He got the big move, and it didn't really land for him. Do you have any idea why?
Conte said that he didn't understand the system. He wasn't ready to play, which is madness, right?
I don't know.
Conte's system wasn't difficult to understand. It was some of the most basic, boring football I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's true.
For Basuma not to be able to fit into that team and just insisting on Højbjerg was confusing. But Basuma's back. What will be interesting for people that don't know or haven't seen Spurs play or understand Postecoglou's tactics are fullbacks. We've got Porro and Udogie. Porro is taking the place of Emerson Royal, who had a brilliant game against Brentford. But Porro isn't... He's not a fullback. He's a wing back, and you would say, "Oh, well, they can play in they can play right back or right wing back." The issue with Porro is if you make a mistake, there isn't much, insurance around when you're playing a back four.
What do you think of your new centre back, and how do you think? Do you think he'll make a massive difference to your centre?
Yeah, because the alternative, the drop off of quality after him is significant.
What's happening, everyone, and welcome to the club. Before we get into this clip, I need to let you know that this clip is brought to you by the wonderful people of Super 6. We need you to join our Super 6 League. Simply download the Super 6 app and join Club 23. It won't cost you a penny, and guess what? This week you could win £1 million. There is £1 million on offer. All you have to do is predict 6 scores correctly. If you do that, you will win £1 million and it won't cost you a penny. Simply click the link in the description below and we will see you in our mini league. Hope you enjoy the clip.
Like the fact that we're in a situation, Spurs fans are actually sort of starting to try and talk ourselves around that Davinson Sanchez actually might be all right. When for 6 years we've been going, how is this?
Is that because of the manager? Have you seen some of the players that were maybe on the outskirts getting criticised heavily last season that have shown a difference in the short time he's been there? Has he got a reaction from someone?
I think there's a general galvanisation effect that he's had, and is that a word? Galvanisation?
No, I think it worked. The thing is, you've made an error there because you used it, and I was totally convinced, and now I'm doubting you.
I was completely
go with it.
I was completely unconvinced. No, but he has galvanised the squad.
Okay,
and there's a good mood. Like James Maddison, for one, who we're seeing on our screen now. He's the way he's
talking his first league game.
Yeah, which is great. But we was on another show, and a good friend of his, Josh Denzel, he said he came up to me, and that sounds like a name drop, and don't mean it, but he came up to me and said Maddison was absolutely buzzing.
We've all met Josh Denzel, mate.
He's a lovely bloke.
Calm down.
He is a lovely bloke.
Yeah.
Right, the bloke we've all met told
when you say
me...
name drop, it's a geezer out of Love Island, mate. Calm down. You're not exactly knocking about. Who do you think you're hanging around with? You got Marlon Brando on speed dial.
I just needed to subtext.
Some geezer out of Love Island. Well done, mate. Yeah, excellent.
I just
moving in serious
I just need a prefix to my point.
I just actually see Buvey quite a lot, Yeah, but go on. Josh was on about James Maddison.
He was talking about James Maddison, how excited he is to be a part of Spurs and how desperately he wanted to move. It was mooted that he was coming to Spurs like the tail end of last season where everything was imploding.
We got relegated, so he's desperate to move anyway.
Yeah, but he could have gone anywhere, right?
No, but he could have gone anywhere last summer if he wanted to.
No, I'm just banter. It's an amazing transfer. I think he'll be... I mean, I was going to bring the point to Harry Kane because obviously Harry Kane leaving, I'm sure Maddison would have liked to play with Harry Kane, but with that kind of Harry Kane player leaving the club, he can now be the main focal point at Tottenham Hotspur. What do you kind of make of that kind of maybe the fresh start that he's got?
I think the system will be the focal point of Tottenham now, and we don't have the option of relying on Harry Kane obviously because he's gone.
Say that again. Harry Kane's what?
He's gone. But you don't sound too smug at him because you would have loved him. You don't.
Yeah. I would have loved him.
But you would have.
It's just great to hear you say he's gone.
I'm so happy.
Do you think Kane at all? Do you think there is a part of Kane that will look at what's going on at Tottenham at the moment and think that maybe it wasn't the time to leave. Like I think he should have left at various points over various seasons.
Yeah.
But do you know what it's a bit like? You know when you're going to get your hair cut? On the day that you're going to get your hair cut, you look in the mirror, you go, my hair looks all right today. I'm going to hang about now. I think that Kane has probably looked at Tottenham when he's actually leaving. He's got the appointment booked. Yeah. And he's gone, do you know what? Postecoglou, an attacking system, James Maddison feeding me. This could be the time to hang around.
My guess would have been that he probably would have liked to see his contract run down and played that final season at Spurs and then have to be able to do whatever he wants, join anyone.
But he could have done that. He did out of loyalty to you. He's got you the fee, hasn't he?
Yeah, and that's to me. Like, I'm grateful for the fact that he's out of the league, but as just on a purely logical sense, it was a mad decision.
Isn't it kind of like a relief though? I remember when we had Cristiano Ronaldo in it, obviously absolutely killing it, Ballon d'Or winner and that, and we got this extra season out of him until 2009. But you kind of just felt like, all right, we're just waiting for him to leave now. Yeah. Did it always feel like that with Kane, or was it a little bit different because it was English?
Mate. You won the league.
No, I know, but we did, like, his goals dropped off from the 42 that he scored the season before. I know it's hard to do that, and we just felt like we were waiting for him to leave. It felt a bit weird.
Mm-hmm. We didn't have a choice, so this was the best possible scenario for Tottenham, really, other than him signing a new contract, which was never going to happen. So he's out of the league. The endless narrative, and hopefully this is the last conversation I have to have about Harry Kane.
No.
Why not?
Well, I was going to bring out the goal he scored last night. Fantastic goal.
Yeah, I did.
And
See the
little assist?
Touch.
I thought I was over it, and then that news came through, and it was like.
But do you know I love him now? Do you know I genuinely love it. Like I want him to do so. Do you know I kind of want? So this is crazy. I want him. This is my fantasy involving Harry Kane. I want him to win the Champions League at Wembley, which was like Tottenham's former home. So you kind of go, see, he won. He did win something at Wembley where he played for a couple of seasons, but not with you. And then along the way, I really want this. You'll love this narrative though. Quarterfinals Champions League. Goes to the Emirates, scores 2.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be lovely.
I'll take that.
Well, listen, Flav.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of said you don't want to talk about Harry Kane anymore. How do you replace him? Do you need that big money striker? Some people have mentioned Evan Ferguson, don't think you get him. But do you go out for a big money striker, or do you kind of work with the 4 you've got and get some depth for them?
I don't think we do go out for another striker. I think ideally you would, if we could, sign anyone that was even possible of replacing Harry Kane, who would come to Spurs, then obviously we'd make that happen. But the only names I can think of that are remotely available would be an insanely huge transfer for someone like Osimhen. And he made,
that's not a Tottenham move at the moment, is it though?
I don't think
realistically,
he wants Champions League football and trophies.
The only one who's going to spend. I mean, don't we all?
No, but he deserves it. He's one of the best in the world.
But there's no who's signing Osimhen this season.
I think he's waiting. Well, he's already signed a contract extension anyway, so I think he's waiting for that big Real Madrid, for example.
He's talking 140 million euros.
It's crazy money.
So the answer to your question, is that no, I don't think we do sign a striker, or if we do, it's a prospect like Gift Orban, who's widely tipped for coming out of Belgium.
You have a few younger lads on your books recently.
We've got
that were always
Dane Scarlett, who's played some League One football.
As well, wasn't it?
Troy Parrott was this.
Was that a long time ago?
Yeah, well,
Dean Parrott.
We had Dean Parrott before, but just Troy Parrott. Two different Parrots.
2 different Parrots in the same club. That's weird.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
Mental. It's not that common a surname. I don't think I've ever met anyone with a surname Parrott, and you got 2 of them.
Who was the guy on Big Break?
Yeah, that was
Jim.
That was
Davidson.
No, that was
John Parrott.
That was John
Parrott. Scouser, who's wicked at trick shots. Yeah. Any other famous parrots? This is the kind of content you subscribe for.
No, carry on talking about.
We had Troy Parrott was a player that a forward that at the time Spurs fans were going, give Parrott a goal. He's bagging goals on the under-21s. Give him a go, just stick him in. And Jose Mourinho was like, he's not ready. Just put him in. We want to see him. We'll decide if he's ready or not. He's not ready. He's not going to play. He's like, and afterwards, all right, fine. Plays him, useless.
Yeah, it's funny that.
And then we're like, all right, sorry, Jose.
Yeah. It's a reason you've won the Champions League and I haven't.
Spurs have got a history for this as well. When Gareth Bale played, it was like we were singing, he plays on the left. Yeah. He plays on the left. Gareth Bale, he plays on the left, and Redler went, no, he can play through the middle. He's really good at that. And then lo and behold, wins the Champions League doing it.
Yeah, he was quite a good.
But the system will replace Kane. The system will have to replace Kane.
Do you think, like, because you're not going to be as negative as last season, you kind of, because this manager will be more attacking, will allow you to be a bit more free. I'm not saying you replace all of his goals, but you may kind of just replace him in changing the tactics a little.
Yeah. So you've got a much more attacking side. If Richarlison is our number 9 for the entire season, then you need him to back.
Can he score the goal? What do you think about
15,
Richarlison?
15. I think he's...
Everton fans love him, and
no Bardo, innit? They love him, and they ain't loved anyone since Paul Rideout. Like
and Tony Abbott.
People who listen to the podcast will know how I feel about Richarlison. But
is it not popular?
It's not. I don't think he's very good. I don't think he's good enough. But we've spent £60 million. We've got to make it work.
Do you this season, in terms of what constitutes success? Is it European qualification? No joke. Like, is it finishing in the top 6?
Not a lot, yeah. I think it's just about changing system and falling in love with watching.
I think
Spurs
it's similar to Arsenal. Arteta's first full season. You just got to make the fans fall in love with football.
Well, the only difference between that is
fall in love with the team.
Arsenal fans wanted him sacked, which I don't think Spurs fans will do because we're built.
But there was a general consensus around the team at that point that like because they'd gone through a few managers, like, all right, give this guy time now. Postecoglou seems like the kind of guy that will keep fans on side.
Yeah.
Conte and Mourinho were very abrasive to the fans. Maybe because they were rightly so felt like they were above a lot of things.
Let's not forget, just quickly to finish on the Arsenal thing, is that all of their current successes that those fans are enjoying are completely in contrast to what they actually wanted, which was firing Arteta. And
they lost to Burnley. I remember they lost to Burnley 1-0 between Christmas and New Year at home. And their fans were demanding that Arteta was sacked.
So with that,
there's a rewriting of history going on.
Spurs give Postecoglou the time?
We have to.
Because he needs it.
Well, what's the alternative? Of course he needs it.
But what about Nuno Espirito Santo? Because that's the most comparable. Well, no, but that's the most... I mean, he's not Conte.
You bring him up every week.
If I can finish the point, he's not Conte, he's not Mourinho, he's from Celtic. He's a bit of a gamble, like the Wolves manager.
Hold on a minute. Celtic are a bigger club than Man City. You've got to stop with that.
Why are you bringing that
weird attitude towards
the SPL? It's the SPL.
I won't finish the point. No, I was about to ask a question. Postecoglou is closer to the Espirito Santo move in terms of whereas managerial standing is, and he got sacked within a few months.
But it's style.
So what happens if you've got a great style and you're 15th in the league?
Yeah, that is a question that we may have to answer.
That's the point. That's the question.
And if that is the case, then we'll have to confront it. But I think what the warnings that we've been given as Spurs fans, that people understand Postecoglou and the time it takes for his system to kick into gear, is you have to be patient.
Do you know what, Booth, though? I think with regard to the Espirito Santo thing, Tottenham as a fan base, Flav can obviously say this far more articulately than me, but as a fan base, I don't think there is a support in the country that adhere to traditions of the club in terms of the way the game should be played more than them.
Yeah.
So Nuno Espirito Santo, I think Tottenham fans would have probably made their peace with it if they won stuff. But ultimately, Nuno Espirito Santo was onto a hiding for nothing at Tottenham because the way that he sees the game being played, he's one of the most negative managers in the league. Going to one of the most demanding in terms of playing free-flowing football, it was never going to marry up. And that's why it's weird for Harry Kane to have left now, because Harry Kane has been managed most recently by the 3 most defensive managers in world football. Mourinho, Conte, Espirito Santo, Mason. and then he left just as the right man came in.
My feeling there is the reason why he left is that Daniel Levy accepted the bid of £86 million rising, right? In that instance, it's very difficult for Harry Kane because Levy's accepted the bid. Harry Kane will have to go, I don't want to stay and I want to run my contract down. I don't know anything, right? But my assumption would be that Daniel Levy's going, you've got to go.
No, but do you not think... I think we're doing Kane a bit of a disservice here. Kane has done you a massive good turn.
Favour.
Because Kane, you say that the bid was accepted. The bid was accepted because presumably Levy knew that Kane was going to say yes.
Of course.
So Kane, if he wanted, could have been a real thorn in Tottenham's side and just gone, do you know what, play me if you want, don't play me if you don't want, but I'm going to earn myself £20 million as a signing on fee in 6 months' time.
He should have done it. It's madness that he did.
No, but you've got to admire...
I understand your point. I do admire the fact that...
We do it on this channel, on this particular show. Buvey and I do it quite a lot, and Adam to a degree, maybe a little bit less so. We are quite sneery, you and I, Booth, to... loyalty. Like we go, well, why didn't he get out? He's got to go. And maybe we judge when in the past when we've spoken about Matt Letizia.
Yeah.
You go, well, he needed to get out of Southampton. We should be careful that we don't penalise footballers for demonstrating the one quality that we all want to see from footballers.
Do you listen to what Shearer said? Shearer said, he was interviewed, there's a podcast they're doing with Gary Lineker, and he said, what's the one move you regret not happening or taking? And he said, the Man United bid for Shearer when he was at Newcastle, Alex Ferguson wanted him, and he said, it's easy for him to say this now, but he said, I don't regret it at all. the years I spent at Newcastle were the best of my career.
I'm distracted by the fact that you rub your nose on the mic quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's just like you're the only person that does that. I love it. Yeah,
I didn't even wear that I
just
do
keep
it.
like just catching it.
It's quite. I can understand why. Actually, it's quite soothing.
It's all right, isn't it? Yeah. It's quite nice.
It's quite soothing.
Maybe I talk into one of these mics all day practically. Maybe that's what I'm doing at home.
But I think that point's interesting. I think you've got a service. If you've been given the talent of Harry Kane, the talent of all these amazing footballers, you're the 1% of the 1% in the sport we love. And that's why I know it's a bit like, you could be at Southampton for 10 years and not win anything. But Harry Kane is a generational talent. There are footballers that would die to have half the kind of talent he's got in League One, in the Championship. So for me, if Man United came in, he should be going to Man United. Bayern Munich came in, he did that move. You got to applaud him.
It was only when he had the option to do it that he could. Like he tried to leave 2 years ago to go to Man City, and stupidly he signed that 6-year deal.
He didn't really try though. He tried a little bit.
He'd done everything he could.
He was badly advised.
He did everything he could aside from putting a transfer in place.
And that's what it seemed like he wanted to do. He didn't play the first 3 games of the season.
Yeah, but that was because I think the first game of the season he was in Florida or something. The second couple of games he was kind of being punished.
Yes.
But look, ultimately,
what do you think of Son being
do you
new
wish
captain?
him well, Kane?
I think it's the only option.
Do you wish him well? Do you?
I'm indifferent to him. I don't wish him well now.
Really, I wish him really well. Like,
I'm sure you do.
You want him to win the German title?
No,
who do you want to win the German title?
Less what he does and what he wins.
I'm so surprised, man. I like it, but I'm surprised. Yeah, I rate it, but I'm surprised.
So hang on a minute. So hang on.
I rate him highly. So I half support Bayern Munich.
Do you want him to do well for England?
You're in a lovely yeah. Why not? I support England, so yeah. The 10 years beautiful marriage with a wife you love, you adore. And then,
where's this going?
Yeah, and then
he's looking at you two. I mean,
a wife you adore. You think she's incredible, and you think that she loves you too. And then a new man with a sports car turns up with a bigger house down the road and goes, "Come over here," and she just goes. Do you still think about the great 10 years you had, or do you think, "What a bitch for leaving"?
No, I set them both.
You don't think about.
Yeah, this conversation is happening between.
Yeah.
Right now. That's so funny.